You remember when I was weeping after I came out of jail? It was because you showed me what you could do when you act as a collective. You surprised me by your capacity to act as a community. You rose above ethnicity and religion, and you found the grace to see me as a human being above all else, and you spoke as a collective. The same manner in which you found your voice as a collective, you need to find your voice again as a collective and then begin to demand your freedom. The electoral reform thing is just a way to unite you. There's nothing partisan about demanding to be able to vote as a citizen. There's absolutely nothing partisan about that. You should be able to demand that, and you should be able to support such a demand. It's the minimum you can do. We're at that checkpoint. And if we don't use the opportunity of the checkpoint to assess where we are, to admit to the fact that we are lost, we're just traveling in circles, to admit to the fact that we can be better than we have been. If we don't use the opportunity of this checkpoint to tell ourselves these truths, when are we going to do so? We have built memorials of lies. That's why they can't honor Humphrey Nwosu. He did a phenomenal job, but he didn't do it alone. He did it with many other people, the same people who have become compromised today. They worked with him to make June 12 happen the way it happened. If you look at the long list of people who have become compromised, it becomes easy to understand why we are where we are today. But as one person has become compromised, if 10 of you would stand in their place, we will not be here. So it's easy to point at those we believe have compromised. But have we looked in the mirror and asked ourselves, exactly what have we done differently and what could we have done differently? That's the checkpoint. I urge you, take the opportunity of this checkpoint, the anniversary, and I mustn't end this, and I cannot end this without asking all of you to, in your own ways, however you can, remember those who died because of this day. Not just Chief MKO Abiola. And whilst he was and remains a symbol to a lot of us, he was some people's father. He was some people's husband. He was a human being, living a full life, and he didn't have to die. We must never forget that. We must remember Kudirat Abiola. We must remember the many unnamed persons who are today in unmarked graves. We must also use the opportunity of this checkpoint to rededicate ourselves to ensuring that our children do not have to fight these battles all over, because we have to fight it. The easiest thing to do is to bellyache, but it serves no purpose. If you've heard me this evening, because it's evening at our end in Nigeria, if you have heard me, the least you can do is to become curious about how to come out of this and to find a way to align with those who have offered alternatives. Silence, your silence, when the driver of the bus is reckless, renders you complicit in any accident. The road is an apt metaphor in talking about Nigeria. Everything about the road connects with our reality. The sickening impunity and corruption in road contracts are what? The shoddy nature of job execution. The stupid ways in which the users of the road themselves use the road. Everything about the road speaks to our reality, but it is also in our hand to change our narratives. I could stay here and drone on and on ad infinitum, but it will change nothing. You are the ones who can change something. The system has never ever allowed your will as a collective to prevail, because your will is different, completely different from that of your oppressors. They have always ensured that your will do not count. The only way you can reverse that is by ensuring that a process is in place, independent, completely independent of anybody's will, except that of those who call themselves citizens. Anything outside of that? Now, you know what? If you don't fight this fight now, your children would have to. And it may not be the kind of fight that they are capable of winning. I believe Somalia has been embroiled in their mess over 30 years. I know it started Said Barre or something like that, and that must have been back in the 80s. And they are still there today. One ethnicity, one religion. Yorùbá will say ọmọ ò ní lóhùn òkú o, àwọn òbí ẹ̀ náà nígbà. The child will not say it wouldn't die. It's the parents that will refuse to allow it. It is the action taken by the parents that prevents the child from dying. It is also the actions or inactions of the passengers that will determine whether this bus would crash or knock engine. It's in your hands. I'm not here to bellyache. I'm here to tell you the truth and to tell you what you need to be doing. Find a way to get behind the electoral reform movement.